Do you know, Iran's Shahed 136 kamikaze drone costs only $20,000 to build. The missile needed to shoot it down cost $3 million. That ratio, we're at 1 to 150, is why military analysts call it the most economically destructive weapon in modern warfare. It flies at 185 kilometers per hour, powered by a lawnmower engine, built from foam and plywood, guided by a GPS chip the size of a credit card. In the first 5 days of the 2026 war, Iran launched nearly 2,000 of them. Do you know where this weapon came from? Not from a defense contractor, not from a superpower. It traces its lineage back to a British biplane built in 1935 to give anti-aircraft gunners something to shoot at for practice. This is the story of the drone. It does not begin in Silicon Valley or a Pentagon laboratory. It begins in 1849. When the Austrian military loaded 200 unmanned balloons with explosives and floated them over the city of Venice. The wind changed direction. Most of the balloons blew back over Austrian lines. The attack accomplished almost nothing. But the idea, a weapon that reaches its target without a pilot, had been placed into the minds of military engineers across the world. The man who turned that idea into reality was a British engineer named Archibald Lowe. When World War I began and German Zeppelins started bombing British cities at night, the military gave Lowe one task: build a radio-controlled flying torpedo that could intercept them without a pilot. Lowe assembled a team in secret, built a guidance system from scratch, and in March 1917 flew the world's first radio-controlled aircraft off the back of a moving truck. German intelligence found out he existed and sent agents to kill him twice. He survived. Do you know what the British military named his project to fool enemy spies? They called it the aerial target, making it sound like harmless training equipment rather than the weapon it actually was. The word drone itself was born in 1935. Britain had converted a de Havilland Tiger Moth biplane into a radio-controlled target aircraft called the Queen Bee. Warships would fire at it during training exercises. When the U.S. Navy observed a demonstration and sent Admiral William Stanley back to Washington with orders to build an equivalent, his engineers needed a name for these unmanned aircraft. They looked at the Queen Bee and started calling them drones. After the male honeybee, the one that follows without leading, executes without deciding. The name entered military vocabulary permanently and never left. World War II proved what the concept could do at scale. Germany deployed the V-1 flying bomb, a pulse jet-powered drone that struck London over 10,000 times, the world's first operational cruise missile. The Americans loaded B-17 bombers with explosives, had pilots fly them partway toward targets, bail out by parachute, then crash them remotely. The survival rate for bailing pilots was grim enough that the program was abandoned. But every major military on Earth was now investing in the idea. The Cold War converted drones into intelligence tools. The United States flew camera-equipped drones over China and North Vietnam for years, gathering reconnaissance without risking pilots. Then Israel demonstrated in 1982 what drones could do in direct combat. During fighting in Lebanon, Israeli forces flew drones to provoke Syrian radar into switching on. The moment it revealed its location, Israeli jets destroyed it. The Syrian Air Force lost 82 aircraft in 2 days. Israel lost 0 pilots. Every military on Earth took notice. The modern armed drone was assembled in a garage in Los Angeles by a man named Abraham Karam, an engineer who had immigrated from Israel. Working with personal savings and off-the-shelf components, he built a prototype that could remain airborne for 56 continuous hours. The U.S. military eventually acquired his company and developed the design into the MQ-1 Predator, the aircraft that defined American warfare after September 2001. Drone strikes increased tenfold between the Bush and Obama administrations. The United States conducted strikes in at least 7 countries using aircraft piloted remotely from bases in Nevada, thousands of miles from the targets. Then came the inversion. Iran, locked out of advanced weapons markets by sanctions, spent years reverse engineering, captured American drones, and building their own from commercial parts that bypassed export controls. The result was the Shahed family, simple, cheap, effective through volume, not precision. Iron Dome, Patriot, Thiad, designed for supersonic missiles and fast aircraft, were never built to solve a foam drone cruising at 185 kilometers per hour economically. When Iran fires 2,000 simultaneously, every interception costs $3 million. The math does not work in the defender's favor. Do you know what Archibald Lowe, the man who built the first one in a secret British shed in 1917, who survived 2 assassination attempts for the privilege, would think of what his invention became? A lawnmower engine, foam wings, a GPS chip, and a financial equation that is quietly bankrupting the most expensive military alliances in human history. The drone started as a queen bee. It became a predator. Today it is a shahed, and it is winning.